the money for right now? I don't know. Then it came back to be a lie that their refineries are working. No one has been arrested so far. No one is going to be arrested or jailed anyway. Because while you are still wondering about how much those ones stole, right? You realize that the ones that replaced them, they are already continuing from where those ones stopped, which makes it, Oduduwa Emefiole, another guy who is running their economy in that contraption, is their central bank governor, Cardi or Kadobi, Oduduwa Emefiole. That one, right? When they first came, is part of those who created the lies that Ifnubu cleared Forex, right? The lies around that, I've kind of like, exposed that a while back, okay? And they're just too many. And they love repeating them. As long as they keep repeating and repeating and repeating them, unfortunately, they started believing them. They started believing their own lies. For me, I'm going to recap it. So when Tifnumbu came, if you will remember, the international airlines operating in Nigeria, they couldn't take their money out of Nigeria simply because Emefiole, Bokwari, they have stolen and looted the money. Yeah. And how did they do that? You see, when you buy your airline ticket from any part of the world and where have you, okay, to Nigeria, it is believed that, you see that part where their transactions were done in Nigeria, that money goes straight into their designated bank account in Nigeria. So their deal with Nigeria was that every time they are ready to repatriate their money from their bank in Nigeria, it will be released to them in dollars equivalent. That was their deal. So by the time Bokwari and his gang finished with Nigeria, there was no Forex anywhere. So the money was like, back then, the money was put at, they said the money was 2 or so trillion Naira. No, hang on, how much is 10 billion dollars? So back then, the exchange rate then was about 400 Naira to a dollar. So their balance in Nigerian's bank was somewhere, I think 4 trillion or something. Okay. Yeah, I think it's 4 trillion or something. Equivalent of about $10 billion. So since Nigerian government or Nigerian central bank couldn't provide the money at the time, and they realized that they were not going to get their money because Central Bank of Nigeria was telling them that they will give them dollars. I'm sorry, they'll give them Naira because Naira is Nigeria currency. So they unleashed the social media and their vuvuzela's in APC to go after these airlines. They are enemy of Nigeria. This is Nigeria. We are spending Naira. Why are they demanding for dollars? Anyway, some of them just got mad. They left. So when Tifnumbu came, right, he went to UAE. Remember Dubai? And to go and see the Emirates, right? And he was told that the visa ban on Nigeria will be lifted if Nigeria is willing to pay back that money. So Tifnumbu and his gang, they now said, it's not that we don't want to pay, but the money is because Nigerian Naira has already crashed. So if we have to use the value of that your $10 billion now, we are now looking at somewhere around 15 trillion Naira. So to Nigeria, that is like something that was 4 trillion. And if you have to go and buy them their dollars now, you will need about 14, 15 trillion Naira. So, and they are saying the offer they had for these airlines was, we will abide by that 4 trillion, which was the money you put in our bank. So we'll get that for you. And you can go exchange it to dollars as you want. And we can give you the equivalent of that 4 trillion Naira in dollars So that means if they accepted that deal, they will lose over 60% to 70% of their money. So some of them rejected it. Or 3 or 2 of them accepted it to cut their losses. So Tinubu's regime, finally, they were able to release a total of 2.1 or $2.2 billion in Naira equivalent, which was back then was around, I think, 8 or 7 trillion Naira. So Tinubu and his gang now went straight to town. That Tinubu has cleared this 7 billion, have been a 10 billion backlog of this airline. They continue to push that, by the way, because they believe it as its achievement, you know? So, anyway, the Oduduwa Emefiole, whose economic idea, I believe, or monetary policies is said to be working, also went to the Afrexim Bank. It's called the Afrexim Bank, African Export and Import Bank. Okay. They went there to go and borrow $3.3 billion. Do you know what they used the money for? I said it on this platform, right? They lied to their followers and Nigerians that Tinubu floated the Naira, a fancy word for devaluation. Tinubu devalued Nigerian Naira simply because of the loans they are giving to him. In the process, they lost control of it. And just like a crashing jet, Naira was going on a, unbreakable spiral. So that's why they went to the Afrexim Bank to take a $3.3 billion loan. And the collateral, a 175 million barrels of crude oil, worth over $12 billion, if Nigeria failed to pay back $5.5 billion, which includes the capital, the loan, and the interest by 2028. So if Nigeria failed to, this borrower, being at the lender, they will come to Nigeria and take whatever it is, the crude oil allocation from any part of Nigeria until they extract 175 million barrels of crude oil. Kolu. And this is what Cardi had to say, borrowing money to defend Naira and telling their supporters that Tinubu's policies floated Naira. And right now, Nigeria economy has stabilized. You know what that means, right? It simply means that it is no longer kind of like, crashing. So it has stabilized for a while at 1,600 Naira to $1. So you as a businessman, at least you can plan on it is 1.6. You don't have to cry about it that it was 200 Naira to $1 before these criminals took over. To a businessman, they just need that stability to say, if now 2,000 you want the Naira to be, put out for 2,000. If it is 5,000 you want the Naira to be, put it at 5,000, but not 2,000 today, 2,003 tomorrow. Before evening tomorrow, it has come down to 1.8. That fluctuation, that is another one that Okonjo Iweala said, which Tinubu and his gang literally took to heart. The Nigeria economy is now stable. Anyway, just listen to this Cardi. They were asking him about defending Naira, which they denied severally, but he's admitting to it in a subtle way.
Know exactly where we are headed in that direction, but it's certainly something that we are looking at. We're looking at that. Defending the Naira, which from every indication seems to be an elephant in some room. Now, I want to try and make this as clear as possible. It is not our intention to defend the Naira. It is not. And much as I have read in the recent few days some opinions with respect to what is happening with our reserves and the central bank defending the Naira, if you think back to what our overall policy and philosophy has been here, you can see it's counterintuitive. Okay, basically, what we're encouraging is for the markets to willing buyer, willing seller, price discovery. And ultimately, I perceive a future where central bank will really not need to intervene, okay, except in very, very unusual circumstances. What is important to us is that there's sufficient liquidity in the market, which I've spoken about here today. Fine, 1 billion is the outlier, sometimes it's 600, 700 million US, as the case may be, and that will continue, hopefully. So as long as we have a vibrant currency market, why do we need to go in there to intervene? We don't need to. I can understand that, especially at the outset, there have been little cases where the Bureau de Change, the BDC, there was a need to get that segment going. And, you know, small amounts of money, relatively tiny amounts of money have gone into that to catalyze that happening, because it's important that, again, individuals have access to funds to send abroad, their kids abroad, and do things which are important, health, etc., etc. So it's important not to keep them out of the mainstay. So that, yes, but in terms of intervention, frankly, that's really not our intention at all to intervene in the money market. And what you see with respect...
Nuisance Lele. Nuisance Lele.
In the era, Shana, me and you, they send our children abroad. You watching me from Nigeria right now. Are you one of those that send their children abroad or goes abroad for medical treatment? Eh? He said, no, we're not intervening. We're not intervening at all. You know, we are just defending the Naira, you know, $1 billion here, 600 million US there. Now you will think that they are actually running a country where this $1 billion here, and $600 million there, that they were pulling the money from a very buoyant economy and investing it in somewhere. So if you are defending the Naira, is that not you intervening in the market? We're not intervening per se. You know, we're just releasing liquidity. People who want to send these children to school, politicians, and go abroad for medical, politicians, and we're just trying to put money in it, but we're not intervening. Well, it is well. It'll be like this lady that collected transport money from somebody she met online. After collecting 30,000 Naira, she took the money and she bolted. This individual saw a part of Nigeria constitution that actually criminalizes that. It is called OBT. No, sorry. Yeah, OBT. Obtaining by trick. And it is punishable. So Alaye took it personal, took it to court. And the court ruled, right, that the lady was wrong and you shouldn't have taken somebody's money if you have no intention of honoring their invitation. So you will now pay 450,000 Naira in fine. They shall say, wait till we carry, wait till they throw. Eh? person carry candle, una carry deep freezer, you won't throw am deep freezer. Waiting still, I mean waiting carry, waiting you won't throw.
Well, that's na Jennifer Gaku, Emmanuel 450,000. We will go chill go now. In the go maka oboda. Nke ọzọ dịka iwu si dị, ọ bụrụ na ọ kwụrụ ego a, ị mara na Jennifer ga-aga mkpọrọ arị isaa otu aka mkpụ ya. Cut! Were na-asị.
Cut. Don't be a Jennifer. Enjoy the rest of your evening, and I will see you some other time. Good night.
Mayegun làwa mọ̀ làmọ̀ tó dòdòdò.
Mayegun Diary Nayibi #1.
Mayegun làwa mọ̀ làmọ̀ tó dòdòdò.
Mayegun Diary Nayibi #1.
Mayegun ti dé o ọ̀rẹ́ ara yìí.
Mayegun Diary Nayibi #1.
Lórí Facebook lórí YouTube.
Mayegun Diary Nayibi #1.
Gbogbo bó ṣe ń lọ ni Mayegun já wa sí.
Mayegun Diary Nayibi #1.
Àṣírí ọ̀jẹ̀lú kì í bò níbẹ̀ o.
Mayegun Diary Nayibi #1.
Bó bá ṣe eré àní Mayegun máa wí.
Mayegun Diary Nayibi #1.
Ó sì tún ṣe eré wàá gbọ́ níbẹ̀ o.
Mayegun Diary Nayibi #1.
Mayegun Diary politico.
Mayegun Diary Nayibi #1.
Godfatherism kò sí lọ́rọ̀ Mayegun.
Mayegun Diary Nayibi #1.
Ẹ farabalẹ̀ sẹ́ o kẹgọ́rọ̀ lẹ́nu o.
Mayegun Diary Nayibi #1.
Àní Mayegun làwa mọ̀ tó dòdòdò.
Mayegun Diary Nayibi #1.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Mayegun ti dé. Mayegun ti dé.
Ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Mayegun ti dé.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Mayegun ti dé.
Lórí Facebook.
Mayegun ti dé.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Mayegun ti dé.
Lórí YouTube.
Mayegun ti dé.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Mayegun ti dé.
Bọ́ bàbá gbé wúrẹ́.
Mayegun máa wí.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Mayegun ti dé.
Ijó ìgbádìyẹ.
Mayegun máa wí.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Mayegun ti dé.
Pẹ̀sìdó bá rúfin o.
Mayegun máa wí.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Mayegun ti dé.
Kí gómìnà kówó jẹ.
Mayegun máa wí.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Mayegun ti dé.
Ọlọ́pàá tí ń gba rìbá.
Mayegun máa wí.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Mayegun ti dé.
Aṣòfin tí ń rúfin o.
Mayegun máa wí.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Mayegun ti dé.
Òpùrọ́ olóṣèlú.
Mayegun máa wí.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Mayegun ti dé.
Ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Mayegun ti dé.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Mayegun ti dé.
Mayegun ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Mayegun ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe èyí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe, ọmọ bá dèrò ní fi wọ́n níran o.
Mayegun ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Mayegun ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ti ṣe yìí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe ọmọ bá dẹ́rọ̀ ò ní fi wọ́n níran.
wọ́n fowó bẹ́ẹ̀ o Máyégún ó sọ pé wọ́n ò fẹ́ bẹ̀. wọ́n fowó bẹ́ẹ̀ Máyégún ó sọ pé wọ́n ò fẹ́ bẹ̀. oníkanṣá ti ṣe yìí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe fáwọn ará ìlú tó gbé wọn débẹ̀ o àyè.
Máyégún ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ súnra kì. Máyégún ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ súnra kì. ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe yìí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe ọmọ bá dẹ́rọ̀ ò ní fi wọ́n níran.
kì máa yí ṣe eré ọ̀rọ̀ yìí kì í ṣe ẹ̀fẹ̀. kì máa yí ṣe eré ọ̀rọ̀ yìí kì í ṣe ẹ̀fẹ̀. ẹni bá ti lè lẹ́bọ̀ lẹ́rù o ọmọ bá dèrò kàṣàyè tú wọn síta.
Máyégún ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ súnra kì. Máyégún ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ súnra kì. ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe yìí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe ọmọ bá dẹ́rọ̀ ò ní fi wọ́n níran.
tẹnitẹni ọmọ Máyégún ọ̀rẹ́ ara ìlú mọ̀mọ́ ni mo fọlọ́run ṣọ́ ẹ̀ bá kìlẹ́bù. lóòótọ́ olódodo ìlú ọ̀tá ìlú mọ̀mọ́ ni ìwọ ṣá máa ń ṣọ́ra kò sì mọ́ bẹ̀rù. bọ́tà ń lè rí bóníṣègùn lé káwọn mọ̀mọ́ fi ṣera wọn ni ó ti dẹrùn tí wọn ò gbọ́dọ̀ sè mọ́bẹ̀. èèpo ọ̀bọ̀ lọmọ bá dérò tàjẹ́ ò gbọ́dọ̀ jẹ́ ó ti dọba lórí abínú ẹni kò sì mọ́ fòyà. àìsíwọ́lu ní ẹnìkẹ́ ìgbódì ẹyin lábàrá o ó kó ẹni tó bá dán o àkàmù. Máyégún ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ túnra kì. Máyégún ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ túnra kì o. ẹni bá ti ṣe yìí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe ọmọ bá dèrò òní fi wọ́n níran o.
Máyégún ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ súnra kì. Máyégún ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ súnra kì. ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe yìí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe ọmọ bá dẹ́rọ̀ ò ní fi wọ́n níran.